guys, how are you doing today? Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, boss. Thank you for responding. So, did anyone try to solve any of the Did anyone try to solve what I gave you guys yesterday? This one that I particularly highlighted. Did anyone solve? Was anyone able to solve it? Zainab,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
good morning, boss.
I'm not a boss. So, should I say what I wrote?
Yes. Anyone that texted me that you're struggling with your Jupyter network?
Yeah, that was yesterday afternoon. That was afternoon.
Okay,
Yesterday.
okay.
So,
Okay.
select star from employees
Mm-hmm.
where title equals to sales support agent
Mm-hmm.
and hire date greater than or equal to 2023 hyphen 05 hyphen 03
Mm-hmm.
and city equals to Calgary.
That's correct. So this is it. Well done. We are saying select star. That is, take return me all the columns from the employees table, right? Where
Yes,
their
sir.
hire date is greater than that is we hired this guy after 3rd of May 2003, and is by title is a sales support agent, and this guy lives in Calgary, and that's how it works. So let's type our own so that people can follow. We say percentage SQL. Right. So we say select star from what? From employees. Where hire date. Yes, ready Allah. I'm recording. Where hire date is greater than or equal to 2003. Now, because it's date, we are going to put it in quotation. 2003, then hyphen 05 dash 03, right? I will say and title equals to what? What title are they asking us for?
Sales support agent.
Sales support agent. And what? And city
Yes,
equals
Calgary.
Calgary. Germany, offer.
Yeah. Can we still add the limit to? So instead of putting that this thing after that Calgary, can we still add limit to? It doesn't mean
I didn't get that.
like the limit. Let's say we just need like 10 people.
In the premier is I'm not sure they're even up to 10. It's just two persons. But if of course if there are a lot, do you get what I'm trying to say? They are just two. You can say limit to 10, or you can even limit to one, the first person, so that it works here too.
Alright.
You see, you can limit. If you limit to 10, it will show everybody because they are just two. It's just Park and Johnson. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now let's move on to the next one because we also have a lot to cover. Now let's write queries across multiple tables. Now since database can consist of more than one table, I just woke up. So if it's training my voice, please pardon me. I woke up like 7:59. That's the opportunity that the lifestyle you get used to when you work from home. Like you can wake up 8:58 and 9 a.m. you are at work, and you're still not late. Because I think I joined exactly 8. I didn't come late. So since databases, oh, thank you. I mean, so once you guys finish, so I'm able to get a more job. So that's how it's going to work for you guys. So at least you'll be able to do your stuff from home. You don't have to struggle with, oh, there's fuel scarcity or something. Except if you are living in an area where the electricity is terrible, then that's another problem because I have to keep on in gen. Now, since databases can consist of multiple tables, that is, don't worry, it's close, very close, closer than you think. Since databases can consist of multiple tables, that's multiple entities connected together through relationship. Okay, ADMC layer, don't worry, it's close. That is, we have what we call primary and foreign keys. It'd be useful to write like queries that span across multiple tables. In such cases, we may need to align data records between tables as follows. Now, what we are trying to say is that we are talking about data and we are talking about the relationship between them, right? I would say that they are connected by what we call primary and foreign keys. Now, primary key is a unique identifier in a particular column. Like, sorry, in a particular table. Primary key is a unique identifier in a particular table. Think of primary key as your matric number. Say for instance now you're having student information. Your matric number, two people cannot have the same matric number, right? So your matric number is a primary key, like customer ID is a primary key. Now, when this column appears in another table, then it's not a foreign key in that table. A primary key in one table that appears in another table is a foreign key. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm trying to say. Cool. Let me show you now. Let's come back here. Look at this customer ID now. This customer ID is in customers, right? No, it's not. Let's look at this employee customers. It's not present in customers, so it's a primary key in employees, but it's a foreign key in customers. Look at customer and invoice too. Customer ID is a primary key in, you see, they'll put the key in front of it to show that it's a primary key. It's a primary key in customer ID, but in invoices it's also present, but it's a foreign key. Do you get what we're trying to say? Now, who can tell me what's this invoice ID is what is a primary key here, right? And it's a foreign key here. Do you understand? Because we need it to join multiple tables together. Is it clear? It will be useful to write queries that span across multiple tables. In such cases, we may need to align the data that is recorded between tables as follow. For instance, I want to select, just remember we did it something like this earlier, table 1 dot field 1, that is the name of the table dot the name of the column, the name of the second table dot the name of the column, the name of the from table 1 and table 2, then where table 1 dot field id equals to table 2 dot field id. Does that make sense? Is this some good? Now, the where clause in the above sample query is what will really connect the two tables. Remember that there was one we did earlier that was repeating everything. It makes sure that the record in one table corresponds to the record in the other table. This is achieved by using common fields between the two tables. Without the where clause, it would have received a weird permutation of selected field from the involved table. For example, refer back to the query we made above in the section 1.4. Do you remember? Now, example, let's try the query 1.4 again, but with the where clause this time. Let's write a query that lists all the album titles corresponding and their corresponding artists. Now, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to return data in all the title columns from the album table and the name of the column from the artist table, where the artist id in the artist table is the same as the artist id in the album table. So this is what we did earlier, right? We did select albums dot title comma artist dot name, that is, we want to get the title of the album and the name of the artist that sang it from the two tables, albums and artists. Now, looking at it, we are now at artists, that is where the artist ID in the artist table is the same as the artist ID in the album table. Does that make sense?
Sorry, sir. Please come back again on that.
All right. So let's do something. Select star from albums.
Sir, this is not correct.
Um,
The query you are starting is not correct, sir.
no, I'm trying to show something. Select star from albums. Oh, sorry. Oh, to select, Abi. Let's limit to 10. Can you see in the album table we have album ID, we have the title, and we have the artist ID. That is, this is the ID of the artist that sang this. What's it called? Now let's go to the next one. Let's go to the artist from artists. Can you see? This is the artist ID and this is their name. Meaning that if you look at it, the person that sang this, for those who are about to rock, we salute you. The artist ID is 1. What's the name? What's his name? His name is AC/DC. Look at this one too. Balls to the wall. The name of the ID that sang it, or sorry, the name of the artist that sang it is what? Is Accept. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Now, what we want to do is now that we want to combine both of them together. That is, we need a single column, right, that combines both of them. So what we are trying to now do is we say SQL select. Now, once to come here into this table and say from these albums, right, we want the title. So we say albums dot albums dot what dot title, comma. Then we want to come to this place too and take name. That will be artist dot name. Artists dot name from, we want from both albums and table. So from albums and artists. Now the most important thing is that where this artist ID is the same as this artist ID. Do you understand here? That is where the artist ID here is the same as artist ID here. So that it will not do unnecessary permutation like before for us. So you now say where at albums dot artist ID equals to artists dot artist ID. Then you can limit it to 10. Oh, why did I put and here? Don't mind me. It's supposed to be comma. So you cannot limit to 10. Can you see now? Now it's doing the proper permutation. Can you see the person that sang this is for those who are about to rock with salute to is ACDC. Boss to the word is accept. Restless and wild is also accept. So now it's doing the right permutation. Does that make sense? Bawale.
Yes, sir. I don't really get the concept of that albums dot artist side. Does it mean that
We want
from
where we want where this column correlates with this. Like where the ID here is the same thing as the ID here. We want to match the
that
ID together.
if we are merging things, so that's where we use dot?
Yes, yeah. No, where we use dots, where we use dots is if we want to call, what's it called? We want a table from when we are dealing with multiple tables. Now we want a column from the one table and we want a column from another table. So we need to prefix that column name with the name of the table we want it from.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it clear?
Okay, so, but
Go ahead, boss.
yeah, so the two tables we have that we are trying to select from are albums and artists. So
Yes.
in albums and artists, we have several columns, which part of it will be what do I call it? Title and oh no, the artist seed, the two artist seed. So we are trying to select the exact from the artist seed columns, right?
Yes. Are we good? Can we move on? Please, Biliamino, Sulaiman, please mute yourself. Now, unlike before, the return data is aligned perfectly both between both tables. We were able to what? We were able to get all albums and their corresponding artists, including 9 Malatika albums. Naturally, some artists will have written more than one album. Including nine Metallica albums. So can we move on? Now, can we quickly test this? Write a query that returns the first name, last name, and invoice total of customer who spent more than $15. Who wants to try this for us? Hello, Bawale.
Yeah, I want to try. You write down star,
Select star.
select first name, comma,
Select.
last name,
What do you want me to select? What?
first name,
I'm just typing where you're writing. That does not mean it's right though. I'm listening.
last name, where so from customers, where where invoice total. I think that will be greater than $15.
Should I run it? Are you done?
Please hold on. I don't know how we input the invoice total. It's not there because they said returns the first name, last name, and invoice total for customer who spends more than $15. I think that's so. Put semicolon to end it, but I'm not sure. So, yeah.
Should I run it?
Yes.
Okay, it can't work here because we've not been running it from beginning. Let's run it here. It's not working. So who else wants to try it? Guys, bring out stuffs now. Like big stuff, Jade. Are you hear me?
That was a mistake, but let me try.
Alright, thank you for trying.
I think that first name, comma last name, comma invoice total. Maybe we have to put another one there. sir. It's not going to have this ash symbol. Could that be the reason it's not correct, sir? Then from customers ID table, where the invoice total is greater than that 15. Kind of like, is it going to be ordinary 15 or with this currency something? Is it going to recognize it if it's just ordinary 15, sir?
I'm just putting what you want me to put though. Should I run it?
Let's try it. Let's try it, sir.
If you walk, I'll stop practicing. Like I will not do data again in my life. I'll bend. You see, the amount of errors you've introduced is more than the one that were there before. So Ahmed Abdulaziz, you want to try? So who wants to try? Who wants to try? We are not going to move forward if we don't get this. So yes, Mr. Yaminat.
Okay, I'm not sure, but for the leg,
Mm-hmm.
the star should not be there.
Nice. At least you removed one error for us.
From
You've made an impact.
from customers, I feel like it should be customers, not customers ID.
Mm-hmm.
And where invoice total is greater than 15, the semicolon should not be there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we want to add limit 10, then we'll add the semicolon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
If you work, make I bend. Yeah, yeah. Look at the question again. Customers. You guys are asking custom for invoice ID in the customers table, but there is no invoice ID in the customers table. The only way you can get invoice total. Where you can get invoice total is what? Where can you get invoice total? It's from here. So if you say select star from invoices, why do I keep forgetting this? Can you see these are the columns: invoice ID, customer ID, invoice date, billing address, billing Germany, postal code. This is where the total is. It's not even invoice total, it is total. So like it's in invoice, not like you want. What you want to do is you want to get the first name and last name from customer and total from invoice. Now enough of the hint I've given you guys. So who wants to try now? Who raised their hand? I'll start calling names though. I think for Jeremy, try it.
So I still don't understand it too.
Yeah, they miscellaneous. Please come and try again. Thank you for not giving up.
No, we don't give up in my family.
Can you people adopt me?
Sir,
Can you people adopt me?
maybe we'll try and think about it.
I eat a lot though. But let's get started. Let's do this first.
Alright. Select first name, comma, last comma, total. Then from customers,
Mm-hmm.
then inner join.
Where are you seeing join? We are not using join.
I thought you said we are taking the
Wait,
total from one table. Then the first name and the last name from another table.
did you use internet?
No.
Where did you hear about join?
In your videos yesterday, I think I saw your video yesterday. Okay, it was one video that I watched yesterday. Yeah.
We are not using join.
Sorry about that.
Don't
Sir?
confuse. Don't confuse our people more. We are going to get to join, but this one we are not using join.
Okay, then it's going to be from where the invoice data is greater than 15.
Where total? Because there's not like invoice total. Though it's not going to work, but then let me help you. It did not work. Hey, Abu Sari Aminat, you don't give up in your family too.
So for the select, after SQL, select first name,
Mm-hmm.
comma last name,
Mm-hmm.
comma invoice dot total.
Mm-hmm.
Then from customers, where total.
Look at that from again. Look at that from again. It's supposed to be two. Let me help you.
Okay, from customers and invoice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Invoices. Invoices.
Invoices. Where total is greater than $15.
There's something still missing. There's one particular thing still missing. Why your code is getting like a particular statement being missing.
Boss,
Yeah, go
can I
ahead.
help am?
No,
I think that thing
let's
is
call
missing.
Zainab. Let's call
Okay.
Zainab. She raised her hand. Zainab Alimi. Zainab Alimi, did you run away?
No, I did run away. I was still want to try.
Okay, okay, okay. We are
So,
all trying, yeah.
so I think first name, last name, dot. There should be dot customer.
Okay.
I just
Customers dot.
the first name, last name. Okay, whatever we.
You guys are, yes, you are fixing all the errors. Yes. That line one I can assure you is correct. Line two is correct. Line three is correct. It just remains one thing on line three.
On line three. So I think I missed that part because the connection just snapped. Maybe.
Sir, I
Yeah,
think there is an apostrophe for that 15 since it's a number.
it's no, we don't need apostrophe. Then let's add more error to it. We don't need it. There's
Hello, sir.
something. Yeah, I'm with you, Zainab.
Okay, I think we should add where invoices dot customer ID equals to customers dot customer ID.
But let's join it with and where invoices dot customer ID equals to customers dot customer ID. Fala! Finally it worked. Let's clap our hands for Zainab that helped us to finish that finished it. That's nice. So do you guys get it now? Do you guys understand now? Hello?
Sir, please explain again.
What we did was we are selecting customers from customers table. Because we are selecting from multiple tables, we have to prefix it with the name of the table. Want what from customers table, we want the first name. From customers table again, we want the last name. Then from invoices, we want the invoice total. Now, since we are already looking for things from two tables, so it's not nice to mention one. Well, where should you get the second one from? So you have to mention both tables, both customers and invoices. Zainab Alimi, thanks for mentioning that. Then where total is greater than 15, that's the condition they give us. And invoices dot customer ID equals to customers dot customer ID. That is where the ID of the customer name is the same ID of the customer that paid this amount of money. That is, on your customer information, the name of the customer must be the same as the name on the invoice. Ready Allah.
So I have two questions. Number one, why is that part necessary? And invoice is the customer ID.
Because you
Why
want
is
to
necessary?
connect these invoices to this custom like to the customer. Do you get? Like for instance now, if you are looking for an invoice, if say I bought something from you, if you are looking for my invoice, you want where my name is on the invoice, right? You cannot just bring any invoice for me. You want invoice that is mine, and you have to look for an identifier for me. It could be my name, it could be my ID. Yeah, that's it. You can't just bring any invoice for me.
Yes.
You have to connect
And
them. The second question.
all right. So that's like when you were doing your own, like when you tried to bring out this invoice table, you put asterisks after select. But in this one, it was an error when we tried it. So like, why
you,
did you
you use
amend?
select star when you want to return all the columns. I think we mentioned it last night. When you want all the columns, but in this case we don't want all the columns.
Why don't we want us to do this? I'm sorry, I'm very lost.
Why don't we want all the columns? Look at the question they give us. Let's go back to our question. Our question says, test yourself. Write a query that returns the first name. They ask for the first name. That's why we don't need them. We don't need all the columns.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Like, are you clear now? You have more questions. If anyone has questions, please ask me now. That's why we are in this class. I could have recorded the video very fast and move on. But if you are in class, it's the purpose is for you guys to understand. Please ask me. Because you are going to get quiz today and assignment on SQL. And this is what they would look like. Bye bye.
Yeah, the 15, it's supposed to be in amount.
Yes, is number.
Are we just like, yes, it's $15.
Mm.
Is it automatically that it will sense that we are talking about money?
It's not even sensing that we are.
Yeah,
Funny enough, it doesn't sense that we are talking about money. It's so far it's just total. Like it does not even understand that this is money. It doesn't understand that it's money. It's just returning its own. Just like I'm
all
doing
right.
my job. Yeah.
And we can't put it. We can't give it a code like string since it's a
No,
number.
it's a number. It's not going to work.
Okay, but if it's text, we thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm not sure. Do you guys understand now? If I give you guys question, would you be able to answer? And Taufik, go ahead.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, boss.
I don't know what actually happened to my, maybe it's from my end. I don't know. I've been trying to like run this thing since morning, and the error I'm getting is no shop, no such table customers, and I've imported the Chinook this thing.
You didn't import it properly. It's not. Yeah, you didn't import it properly. If you import it properly, you will get it. Make sure that your notebook and the Chinook database they are in the same. Make sure that they are in the same
Same
folder.
folder.
Yes. Can we move on now?
You can as well check the spellings of what is of his tables that he inserts because I'm having the same thing until I got the spellings of it.
Okay, it could be spellings too that you might be having wrong spellings too.
Perhaps you are omitting the heads behind the customers and invoices.
Yeah. Now we've been using limits, so let's just talk about it. As we have already seen in this within this train, SQL queries take longer to execute for large database and where the query results in a lot more rows. Queries that output a lot of rows will also use more RAM. Now the limit keyword can you can be used at the end of the query to limit the query output in such cases. Like the usage is limit n, where n is the number of rows that should be displayed. For example, write a query that displays the information of the first 15 track in the database. In English, we return all the columns from the tracks table and limit the number to what? To 5. It's supposed to be 15 because they asked 15 tracks. So it's supposed to be 15. So it's just like the select star from track, then limit to 5. I think we are quite familiar with that, right? We are quite familiar with limits now. We don't have to dwell on it. It's just to contain the the numbers of rows to respond to output. Now, before we explain what aliases in SQL are and what they are for, let's demonstrate their necessity. Suppose we wanted to show which customers, that is their name and surname, the sales support agent, the name of the person and last name and surname, live in the same country. Do you understand? Like, we want to see which customer and the sales support agent live in the same country. Perhaps Chinook was aiming at a door-to-door marketing campaign for customers who live in the same country as Chinook employees. In English, what we want to do is return data from the first name and the last name column from the customers table and the first name and the last name columns from the employee tables, where the customer table country is equal to what? Canada, and the customer table support web ID is equal to the employees table employee ID. It's not employee, it is employee ID. Now in SQL, what we want to do is that, now look at it. We want to select customers.first name, customers.last name, employees.first name, employees.last name. That's what we want to get. We want to get the full name of the employees and the full name of the customer from the two tables, customers and employee, where customers.country equals to Canada and customers.support web ID is what is the same as employee.employee ID. Now look at it. We have first name, last name. It's difficult for us to tell which one is customer and which one is what. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Like, look at it. We can't tell which one is customer, which one is employee. So it's a bit difficult. Now we have two problems here. The query was long and it took a while for you to type. Now the second one is the table have similar column names. Now we have no way of telling employees apart from customers. If this virtual table is exported to some other format, there's no way you'll be able to tell if you give someone. Now, if you are if you are lucky, as we have been in our SQL Lite, the SQL environment you use will return columns with the same names and will rename duplicates by appending 1, 2, 3 to them, just like we have here. It is as is encountered them. Let's write this query, but now using aliases this time to resolve the listed problems. Now look at it. Let's start from this from. Please pay attention here. This query is a bit long. Let's start from this from. We say from customers C, that is the name of the table, to C. But in this query, the, our SQL will understand that customer is C and we alias employee as E. Does that make sense? Do you understand this now? It's just like somebody saying aka customers aka C, employees aka E. It can be anything. It can be A, it can be B. It's whatever you alias it as. That's what is important. Hmm? It seems like people are struggling now. Good, Jeremy. Thank you for that. So now we want to come back. Let's come back to this first line. Now we want to say select C dot first name. That is, we are saying customers dot first name as customer name. Do you see? We are using as for alias. Now we are having it as customer name. We are just typing this in quotation. So meaning that instead of saying first name, it's going to be displaying customer name like this. Then the same thing, C dot last name as customer surname. So it's going to be displaying customer surname. Comma E, that is employee dot first name, should be what? Agent name. And comma employee dot last name should be agent surname. Is that clear? Now where country C dot country, that is customers dot country, equals to Canada, that is the customer is from Canada, and C dot support rep ID equals to what? Employee dot employee ID. E dot employee ID, C dot support rep ID. So that's that one. Is it clear? Should we write our own, or this is clear? Nobody is saying anything.
Are you using another question to write our own, or this
No,
same
this
question?
same question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm clear.
How about the rest of us? Are we clear?
So please can you come again with where?
Okay, let's just write it from scratch. So what we want to do first is let's alias from customers, put it as C, right? Comma employees, put it as E. Now come back here and say select from customers, which is C, dot first name as we want it to be aliased as what? Customers dot last name, right? As customer last name. customer surname, right? Comma from employee, which is E, dot employee, sorry, dot first name as employee, as what, agent, that is the name of the employee, agent name, right? Comma E dot last name equals to, sorry, as agent surname, right? So we've written these two queries. The next one will now be where, that is, we want customers that from Canada, because all of our rep ID, they are what, they are from Canada. So we want to say where country, where customer C dot country, that is customer's country, equals to Canada, right? And in the customers table, we have support rep ID equals to employee, from in the employee table, employee ID. Can you see? That's how it works. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? So guys, your monthly check-in has been sent on the group. Please, like on the class, on the WhatsApp page, please try to book a time that is most convenient within the available slot. Within the available slots, please. So I think it's going to help us to understand what you have learned and what you are struggling with better, and we can tailor, we can have personalized solution for you. And come, please, we can have personalized solution for you, please. It is very, very important to book a time. And after what's it called, um after the check-in, we are going to do our first set of reading, because we just don't want to have numbers. We want to have people that are really, really active and are willing to learn. So after this monthly check-in, we are going to weed people. Either you didn't join, you did not book a time for your check-in, and your assignments too are not up to date, and your attendance in the class too are not up to date. So we are going to combine the three together to weed people out. So please, it's very, very important to join, like to book a time and join at the time you booked. So I think that's just it. It's very, very important. Yes, Zainab, your question, Zainab Alime.
So, why is there a need for the C support ID equals to EMPI?
Where is what?
Why is the need of C support ID, C support
We
record?
want, like we want, what's it called? We want the column. So we want like the, support rep ID in the customers table is the same thing as support employee ID in the employee table. So in the employee ID, it is primary key. In the support rep ID, In the customer table, support helper ID is the foreign key. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, Busari Aziz.
Actually, I did my own from my end here, and I only got the table header alone. There's no data, so I don't know
There
what
is
to do.
something wrong with your wear. Something wrong with your wear. Look at what I wrote and look at what you wrote. Have you seen what is wrong?
No, sir.
Something must be wrong. Is it that your column has not been loaded properly, your table has not been loaded properly, or maybe your customers, when you wrote from customers, is not correct, employees is not correct, or no, that one would have returned error. It's not return only. Just check your where. You can snap it and send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll quickly look for you while we're in class. Now, in this version of the query, assign aliases that is custom names to columns using as, and assign what's it called aliases to table by tapping them next to the table in the from clause. A few rules to remember when specifying aliases. Try to avoid using space-centered aliases. Rather, separate them using what underscore or capitalization. Try to avoid aliases that start with numeric, like e.g. one employee. Column aliases are an exception to both of these rules, as you can use a valid string to enclose them by quotes, like just like this, just like what we did here. You can put them in quotes. But when it comes to table name, please just use a letter. That's way better. Now the last thing for this train, which is comment. No programming language is complete without the ability to make annotations to your code. Now, although comments in SQL will vary depending on the software tool and flavor of SQL that you are using, but in general, single line comments can be implemented using what? Using double dash, like double hyphen, and multi-line can be implemented using by enclosing them within this. That is forward slash star, then you end it with star before the forward slash. This will be useful if you want to explain or document your SQL queries inline or prevent SQL from running certain queries within a group of queries. Now look at this. This is a single line. SQL would ignore this. Then also this is multi-line. SQL will ignore this. So it's good that we use it to explain the kind of code we are writing. For instance, now if you come here next week now, you might not remember what we did here, but you can always put comments. You can even put comments in between. You can say this is what I was doing wrongly, and it's still going to work because this is a comment. It's going to totally ignore it. Do you understand? So that's everything on basic SQL query. So I think we can now start playing with some non-basic. So do you have any question? I want to start recording this part so that I can upload it separately, like as part two for what we did yesterday.